Today's top stories and your weather forecast in the first 8 minutes. Now on 8 News at 11.
Thanks for joining us. A man in custody in Richmond tonight is accused of shooting a female relative, then barricading himself inside a home for nearly 4 hours.
A scary scene as the SWAT team surrounded the neighborhood, evacuating some residents. Our 8 News reporter Claudia Rubsich is live in front of the home where this all happened. Claudia?
Christina, Juan, it was a very dramatic scene here earlier. SWAT trucks and police officers armed with heavy machinery pretty much filled this neighborhood here in South Richmond. Right now, we're actually standing in front of that home where that standoff took place. This is 4200 Stockton Street here in South Richmond. Now, that woman who was shot is expected to be okay, but it took several hours to finally bring that standoff involving the suspect to an end. It took dozens of Richmond police officers, SWAT team members, and K-9 units to put an end to the standoff in South Richmond, a result of a shooting involving family members. Authorities rushed to the home on Stockton Street at 4:21 this afternoon. Police say a man shot a woman in the chest. How they're related is unknown. She was taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries.
He had barricaded himself inside the home.
That's when backup showed up, blocking off several roads, even evacuated neighbors, as the SWAT team surrounded the home with the suspect inside. Police say the negotiations team tried making contact with the man for 3 hours. When that didn't work, they threw tear gas canisters inside the home to get the suspect to come out.
At that time, the suspect attempted to exit the home through the rear door, and we made the arrest, so he was apprehended.
And police are still investigating the actual shooting. They haven't really released much information regarding that. We still don't know the relationship between that man and the woman or their identities. We're expected to learn more tonight and overnight. Of course, as soon as we get more information, we'll bring that to you. Reporting live in Richmond, I'm Claudia Rubsich, 8 News.
Thank you, Claudia. A rough spring weekend ahead, just in time for tomorrow's UCrop's Monument Avenue 10K. Nearly 32,000 runners and walkers taking part in the big event. It's one of the biggest events of its kind in the entire country. And everybody who crosses the finish line is going to receive a medal this year. John's been keeping an eye on the forecast as all of this is going on.
And he's here with a breakdown. Everything you need to know if you're running or you're just headed out of the house on a Saturday. John?
Yeah, all in all, it's going to be kind of a bundle-up Saturday across the area. We still have a second round of precipitation moving in. In fact, in southwestern Virginia, there's actually been some snow falling in a few locations. That's pretty what we don't want to hear. Here's a look at our live storm track radar across the area. A little band of rainfall dilling down through Farmville and Keysville. Some light sprinkles over us. There's the snow in the southwestern part of the state around Abingdon, Galax, over towards Bluefield and those locations for them. We're chilly. We are down to 42 degrees outside right now, 37 degrees in South Hill, 42 degrees up in Charlottesville. Now, for the race tomorrow, blessing of the runners, looking at a temperature around 32 degrees. And then when they have the Virginia 529 Kids Run, we're looking at 33 degrees. The elite runners will take off. It'll only be 34. You get the gist. It's going to be a chilly start to the day tomorrow across the area. Maybe a few leftover sprinkles in the morning, slow current in the afternoon, but only 46 degrees for the high temperature.
Thank you, John. Caught on camera, a woman dangles from her Petersburg apartment, flames and smoke surrounding her. The fire swept through the complex, trapping residents inside, leaving 3 families without a home tonight. Our 8 News reporter Parker Slaybaugh was on the scene.
As flames tore through several units here at the Webster Court Apartments, neighbors started helping residents out their window who were on the bottom floor. But when the fire department arrived, they had to use a ladder to reach one woman stranded on the top floor. Residents hang from their window as a fire tears through the apartment complex, trapping everyone inside.
I couldn't come out of my exit door because the hall was burning and filled with smoke.
That woman lives on the bottom floor and was too shaken up to appear on camera, but tells me this woman, Yvonne Condi, likely saved her life.
What I did was break the window and try to pull her out the window.
Unable to get her neighbor through the window on her own, the stranded resident went for a chair and tried to climb out on her own. And then...
And the glass started popping, you know, because the fire is getting too hot. I didn't have time for her to stand on the chair.
That's when Condi says the entire neighborhood sprung into action.
I just screamed for a couple of men to help me, and we just got out, and I just thank God.
The woman hanging from this window was rescued by firefighters. She was taken to the hospital for inhaling smoke, but is expected to be okay. The cause of the fire is still unknown, but everyone here tonight is counting their blessings.
I'm so lucky to be alive because as I was coming out, my apartment filled with smoke.
She's safe. It's a blessing. She's safe. She's safe.
Fire officials say all units involved had a smoke detector. However, none of them were properly hooked up tonight. They're issuing a warning to everyone to check your smoke detector to hopefully prevent this from happening again. In Petersburg tonight, Parker Schlabach, 8 News.
All right, thank you, Parker. Well, check this out. On the way back from Petersburg, Parker was driving on I-95 when he came across a 3-vehicle crash. One of the cars just burst into flames right next to him. These are the pictures. Everybody was already out of the car, thank goodness, but this accident did back up traffic for several miles. No word yet on a cause. One of the most popular videos on WRIC.com tonight shows the reunion of a local sailor and his sister. He surprised her with a visit to Highland Springs High School.
Well, we caught up with them today to find out just how he pulled this all off. Anthony Johnson's identity was hidden until the moment he reached his sister Kiana's 9th grade history class. He was only identified as a guest speaker.
Right, so come on in.
Their reunion captured hearts across Central Virginia.
Well, I didn't want to cry in front of people because I don't like that, but it was tears of joy. I wasn't expecting him for another year.
The Navy sailor feared his plan wouldn't work.
Well, I came home on the 25th, and I had Mom hide me out at my aunt's house. And I told her, I was like, please, just don't tell my sister. I want to surprise her at school on the 26th.
Anthony hadn't seen Kiana in 3 years.
Her reaction was priceless, and it was everything that I could have expected and more.
They didn't expect the video to go viral.
I was surprised at all the people that said they was happy and they actually cried during the video.
But it's hard not to be moved by their affection. The reunited siblings say they're looking forward to catching up and watching movies like they used to.
Yes. It was the best present of everything I have. I'm glad you're here.
I'm glad I'm here too.
Back to brother and sisterly love right there.
Yes,
Glad you're here.
They did mention they do some play fighting as well. I left that out of the piece so we could chat about it here. It wouldn't be, on the tape.
And the fact that she didn't expect him for another year makes it even more special.
And that he says he was able to keep it secret because he visited other friends before he went to school and swore everyone to secrecy.
And they kept that secret.
They kept their promises.
All right. Good story. Well, we have news where you live now in Richmond. You can get a rabies vaccine for your pet for just $10 tomorrow. Richmond Animal Care and Control hosting a clinic at Southside Plaza Shopping Center. Residents will also get a free distemper shot for their pets with the purchase of that rabies shot. City dog and cat licenses also for sale. Up next, you got to check this kid's dance moves out. This video is also going viral. It is what's trending.
Plus, salt isn't just for seasoning. We'll show you household hacks to keep your kitchen sparkling clean and your bottles of wine icy cold. John?
Well, here across Central Virginia, a very chilly start to the weekend over the area. Things will get back to the warmer weather reasonably soon. I'll show you when. The 8-day forecast coming up.
And don't forget, this weekend, we want you on our team. Become an iReporter for 8 News. Send us your breaking news, story ideas to iReport8@WRIC.com. As always, you can call our hotline, 330-8000.
You're watching 8 News at 11, covering the news where you live.
Stay with us. Juan and I are back in a moment, but first, here's Jimmy.
You're watching 8 News at 11 on WRIC.
Welcome back. 3 days after he crashed a jetliner into a mountainside, Andreas Lubitz just beginning to come into focus.
Investigators in his native Germany are putting together pieces of a puzzle that might show why the young co-pilot ended his own life and 149 others.
ABC's Marcy Gonzalez has that story.
Investigators uncovering evidence they say could help explain why co-pilot Andreas Lubitz intentionally crashed Germanwings Flight 9525. The Wall Street Journal reporting the 27-year-old was being treated for depression, yet never reported it to the airline. Prosecutors searching his homes also finding a doctor's note excusing Lubitz from work the day of the crash. His company never received it. Instead, it was torn up in a trash can. Investigators are still piecing together what happened in the flight's final 10 minutes when they say Lubitz locked the captain out of the cockpit, then set the plane into autopilot, sending it dropping more than 3,000 feet a minute until it slammed into the French Alps. Now, as crews continue searching the treacherous mountainous scene for the second black box and for the victims' remains, nearby a memorial now stands honoring the 149 innocent people killed, as the father of one of the 3 American victims incredibly extends his sympathy.
I don't feel anger. I'm really sad for the father, the parents of that young pilot.
And Lufthansa confirms that Lubitz took an extended leave of absence during his training 6 years ago. German media reports it was because of depression or burnout. Marcy Gonzalez, ABC News, New York.
We have a consumer alert now. BMW is recalling 49,000 motorcycles. The recall covers several models of the R1200 from 2005 to 2010. If the bolts on the back wheel are too tight, parts can crack and the wheel could come off. One rider had minor injuries. Dealers will replace those parts for free. A mystery piano at the top of the Santa Monica Mountains has captivated hikers, and we now know how and why the piano ended up on the mountain ridge. 8 guys lugged that piano up the 2-mile trail for a music video. The big question now, is that piano coming down? Well, nope. Seems hikers and musicians will be able to enjoy that little gift at the end of the hike for some time.
Alrighty, here's a weird finding. 6 foods and drinks that will help bring your belly back to normal after you've overindulged. And this is counterintuitive. Normally, you just stop eating, right? You may not be hungry, but try some salmon. 2 grams of an omega-3 fatty acid supplement may also do. A beverage like fruity water or peppermint tea can also soothe your stomach. If you were about to take Pepto-Bismol, try flaxseed instead. It can act as a natural laxative. Fennel seeds can also do the trick. And finally, and perhaps most tasty of all these, a little bit of yogurt may get you back to normal. We turn now to condiments. 3 things you can do around the house with salt, according to household hackers. You can use it to disinfect wood cutting boards that can't go in the dishwasher, for one. Rub those with a mix of salt, hot water, and lemon juice. Salt can quickly chill a bottle of wine or any other beverage as well. A handful in your ice bucket lets the temperature drop below 32 degrees, and things get quickly cold. Salt can also be used to clean a stain from red wine. Sprinkle salt on the stain when it's fresh, wait 5 minutes, then splash with cold water and rub.
Time now to take a live look outside at beautiful Atlanta.
Okay, let's see if we get the picture there. It was a lovely Ferris wheel twinkling in the darkness.
There it is.
Normally you see this shot, JB says, from the opposite side. We looked at that for a few minutes and couldn't recognize it, JB. It's lovely down there.
Well, it looks lovely, but it is chilly down there. That's the sky wheel they have down there in downtown Atlanta, which is a new feature for them. And usually you see it from the other side, and a bunch of trees over there during the summertime. Actually, a pretty nice little venue there in downtown Atlanta. They're dealing with chilly start to the weekend, just like we are here. In fact, only a couple of degrees warmer than we happen to be right now. What we've got going on is the jet stream taking another big dip all the way down the south, bringing chilly air with it, swinging right through here. This is where the core of the cold air is. Happens to be some snowfall right now. You can see it right here in the blue, swinging down across Kentucky into southwestern Virginia. And we even have a few more sprinkles moving in towards us. There's the light snow in the southwestern part of the state, Buckingham down through Farmville. This little area of light rainfall. I wouldn't be surprised if there's even a little piece of sleet or grapple mixed in with that. Grapple's like those little like, you know, have you ever seen the space ice cream, the little balls of that? It's kind of like with that. Some of this may swing over us in the next couple of hours. We're 42 degrees. Hanover County Air Park checking in at 40. You see 38 degrees Tappahannock, 41 Petersburg, 36 already down in South Hill. We are headed down into the low to mid 30s later tonight. Tomorrow we will start the morning off with a lot of clouds in the morning. Then in the afternoon, the sunshine will begin to increase over us. But we only make it back up to 46 degrees, so the weather we live tomorrow across central Virginia, it's pretty chilly across the board, no matter where you are. Best temperatures we're going to see about 48, 49 degrees, and probably somewhere around 44, 45 as you head back up to the west of us. Leftover clouds tomorrow morning, sweep them out of the way. We're going to move into the afternoon hours, see some sunshine, a few fair weather clouds through the afternoon to the evening. And then after that, the map's kind of easy all the way into Sunday. The problem is, Look at how chilly Sunday starts off with, low to mid-20s overalls. You've done some early season planting. Get it covered. We'll make it back to 48 to 50 on Sunday as you look at the 8-day forecast, and then it's onward next week and back into the 60s Monday and Tuesday, 70s Wednesday and Thursday. Some showers, maybe a thunderstorm on Thursday, and maybe some lingering rain on Friday before we head into Easter weekend.
Thank you, John. Time now to check out what's trending online this Friday.
We begin with Instagram's new standalone app. It's called Layout. Layout lets you take near mirrored shots and arrange your smartphone pictures in different configurations. Strip away the borders and you can make some cool effects. There's nothing you can't do in Photoshop, of course, but critics like the easy-to-use interface. Instagram says 1 in 5 of its users already make collages with other programs, and now you can use theirs. Best part, you don't have to have an Instagram account to use Layout.
I love it. Check out these dance moves. Peyton has been dancing since he could walk. Last Friday, he was featured on the big screen. This is in Lexington, Kentucky, during the high school basketball tournament. The entire arena was watching, clapping along, singing. Since then, this video, it's gone viral, and he has been featured on TV. Apparently, though, music runs in his family. His parents met while they were in a band, and he just keeps on dancing. He loves it. He says the Dougie's his favorite dance, by the way.
You got to dance like nobody's watching all the time.
And he is. No, he's a good dancer.
He is a good dancer.
Good
I wasn't
moves.
joking. He's serious. He's good.
All right, Chip.
He needs to head up to Cleveland and support the Kentucky Wildcats with that kind of dancing. Coming up, VCU baseball, fresh off a midweek win after a weekend series with UMass. And Denny Hamlin looks to continue his dominance in Martinsville. 8 Sports coming at you after the break. 8 Sports at 11 is here. Welcome, Richmond. The Sweet 16 wraps up tonight. Some games currently in progress, including the Duke Blue Devils and Michigan State. The other game of interest in the East region, NC State versus Louisville, has gone final. The Cardinals and Wolfpack kept close for much of the game, but under 6 minutes to play. Louisville went on a 12-3 run that would prove to be the difference. NC State falls to Louisville 75-65. Rick Pitino now 11-1 in Sweet 16 games. And a quick look at those 2 games in progress. Duke leads Utah 45-34 in the second half. Michigan State just kicking off the second half. They knocked off UVA for a second year in a row last week in Charlotte, now struggling against the 3rd-seeded Oklahoma Sooners. A chilly night at the Diamond to kick off the weekend series between UMass and VCU. Matt Davis gets a hold of one in the second inning, drives in Logan Ferrer for a 5-0 lead. In the same frame with 1 out, runners at the corners, a double play alert. Vinny Sifo to Hunter Carey, 6-3 DP for the score sheets to stop the bleeding. Top 3, 2 outs, runners in scoring position. That's trouble, not for Matt Davis. Calling Danny Glover, leave him a message. That's a web gem to end the threat. Still 5-0 Rams. Bottom half, VCU already has played at 3. Logan Ferrer gonna add one more, belts one to right center, brings in Walter Haymaker, and strong enough that it turns into a triple. He would go on to score after that. VCU sets the bar high in game 1, 16-3 win over UMass. 3 in a row, Rowdy Rams. The Washington Wizards are streaking in the wrong direction. 4 in a row down. PTI's Tony Kornheiser compared their fall from the top of the East to that of the Titanic. While I'm not on that level, the Wizards did make a move that everybody will see as a positive. 13-year-old Nitin Ramachandran, who is battling brain cancer, got to be a part of the Wizards team today. The Make-A-Wish Foundation partnered with the team to make it happen. Nitin got his own locker, his own jersey, and took part in warm-ups alongside John Wall. Pretty cool for him. And the Wizards end up winning 110-107 in double overtime, so perhaps he's the lucky charm they need. This week, the NASCAR circuit moves to the state of Virginia, Martinsville to be specific. It's a track Denny Hamlin knows quite well. When you win at Martinsville, they give you a grandfather clock, and Denny's won it 4 times, but all of those were before 2011. Today at the track, Hamlin was asked about a rumored conspiracy in the NASCAR garage. NASCAR is looking into claims that some teams have drilled tiny holes in their tires, which would allow more stable tire pressure throughout a race and provide a competitive advantage. Hamlin had a very strong stance on the rumor if it proves to be true.
This isn't like the old rodeo days of being able to go out there and run a big motor or soak the tires. Like, this is a professional sport. Definitely no room for it in the sport. Hope they clamp down on that if they do find it, and if they found it multiple times with somebody, they should have a permanent vacation somewhere.
And that about wraps up 8 Sports tonight. I'm Chip Rear. We'll see you tomorrow, and good luck with the lottery.
Time to take one final look at the 8-day forecast for you. If you're going to the Monument Avenue 10K tomorrow, watching the race, it'll be a little chilly. Tomorrow's going to be fine. 46 degrees in the afternoon. Sunshine's back Sunday. It's going to be rather cold Sunday morning, up to 50 in the afternoon. Then we're in the 60s, making it back to the lower 70s by Wednesday. As we head towards the end of the week, though, another storm system will be coming our way. Could bring some showers with a temperature around 75, maybe a thunderstorm. Looks like Good Friday will have some rain. Things settling down as we head into Easter weekend.
Nice to see that warm up once again.
It certainly is.
We thank you for joining us on this Friday. Have a good weekend. I'm Christina Ferrick.
I'm Juan Condi. If you're at the 10K tomorrow, be safe out there. Complete coverage coming up on 8 News. Have a great weekend.